Namaste. On behalf of Project Self, United Consciousness, I, Dr. Vikrant Singh Tomar, welcome all of you in this global celebration of United Consciousness International Week of Peace. UNESCO in its constitution writes that war begins in the mind of the man. And that's why even the constructs and defenses of peace also needs to be built in the mind of the man. Peace is our birthright. Three kinds of peace. My peace with myself. Peace within me. Second, peace with the people around me. And third, peace on the planet, in the world in general. But due to limited identities, it appears that peace on the planet is under great threat. Limited identities of fundamentalism of religion, intolerant thoughts, wealth divide, caste divide, divide on the basis of region, fanatic nationalism, status, color of skin, racism, casteism, divide on the basis of species. Human beings consider themselves owner of all the species. Divide on the basis of gender, sex orientation, habitat even. Human beings consider themselves owner of the whole planet and leads to global warming. When this divide, because of these divides, peace which should naturally flow has to be established by forces of peacekeeping. And that's why 25 years ago in United Nations General Assembly, we all as a planet adopted a resolution for culture of peace. And today, we are also celebrating 76th year of Declaration of Human Rights for the people on the planet, where dignity, equality, and justice is upheld. But it seems that we didn't improve our progress enough in that. We are seriously off track on Agenda 2030 we set for ourselves. 1 in 8 people globally is still suffering from mental disorder. Suicide is being the second leading cause of death among youth today. But still, global defense budget is twice of the global health budget. International disarmament expenditure is only 0.039% of the annual military expenditure in 2013. So United Nations alone can't do it. And that is why United Consciousness celebrates this United Nations International Day of Peace, which is a sincere attempt to raise the consciousness of the planet. Which could not be achieved by the stroke of pen or by the forces or by the resolutions can be achieved by the resolution of mankind, by rising consciousness of all. That before taking any action, I will ask 3 questions from myself. Question number 1, whether by this action will lead to uphold and sustain peace within me. Second, whether this action which I am taking will improve or sustain my peace with the people around. And third, whether the action I am taking will uphold or sustain the peace on the planet. Because peace is not only absence of conflict. At individual level, peace is the presence of the feeling of joy, serenity, dignity, hope, freedom in me. With other people, peace stands for joyful interpersonal relationships based on love and equality, where I can see me in you, you in me, and us in all. Peace on the planet is also celebrating oneness and this diversity beyond limited divides. So every action which we take should end with disseminating more peace on the planet. In Sanskrit, peace is called Shanti. So peace within myself, peace with others, and peace in the world also. United Consciousness International Week of Peace celebration is one of the world's biggest celebration of United Nations International Day of Peace. The celebration begins on 14th of September, and this celebration will continue till 22nd of September with a hope that even if this event is over, the celebration of peace and happiness will continue resonating in everybody's life on the planet. In this program, life coaches, spiritual masters, academicians, public representatives, public servants, scientists, artists, bureaucrats, and all statesmen of repute are coming from different parts of the world, from all 6 continents of the world, because we stand together for a peaceful world. Dear friends, let's join hands together in saying, before we do anything and after we do anything, invoking the higher within and saying, Om Shanti, may there be peace within me. Om Shanti, may there be peace around me. Om Shanti, may there be peace on the planet, in the world. On behalf of Project Self, European Yoga Federation, Yoga Australia, Yoga Vidya Spiritual Council in Africa, AYT, and other important sister organizations of United Consciousness, I welcome all of you to join the celebration for the joy of life. Namaste.
Welcome to United Consciousness, where one consciousness, one being is more than just a belief. It's a movement, a global initiative that unites us all in the pursuit of peace, spiritual wisdom, and universal happiness. It's a global mission that's touching life across continents. If you have ever felt the need for connection, spiritual guidance, or just a sense of belonging, you are in the right place. Welcome to United Consciousness. United Consciousness is not just an organization. It's a living, breathing community dedicated to enhance the holistic well-being of over 3 lakh individuals worldwide. Our mission is simple yet profound. One consciousness, one being. We believe that by connecting with our higher selves and each other, we can live lives filled with purpose, meaning, and fulfillment. Together, we are building a global community that shares this vision, helping each other unlock our full potential. Our logo says it all. The lotus symbolizes enlightenment, peace, and infinite universal consciousness. The petals represent all beings in the universe, interconnected and overlapping, signifying our togetherness. And that white essence in the center, it's the one source from which all beings originated. Every detail carries meaning, right down to the 14 petals, which reminds us to the transcend our limited identities. And speaking of transcendenting identities, our vision aligns perfectly with the global movement of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The world is one family. With the presence in over 100 countries, our reach is global. We are not just spreading a message, we are creating a cohesive network of individuals and organizations working together to eliminate limited identities and promote peace and happiness across the planet. But what does joining United Consciousness means to you? It means gaining access to tools and resources that will help you build mental resilience, overcome stress, depression, and anxiety, and elevate your spiritual journey. And that's just the beginning. Our live question and answer sessions with the world-renowned speakers provide you with the opportunity to get all your life questions answered, whether you are seeking spiritual upliftment, emotional intelligence, or simply a community that stands and supports you. United Consciousness is here to help you thrive in this complex world. So why wait? Join us on this transformative journey. Let's create a world where peace and happiness are not just a distant ideals, but a tangible reality we can all experience here and now. United consciousness, one being, together we can make the difference. I take great pride in introducing Professor Himanshu Rai. He is the director of IIM Indore. Under his leadership, IIM Indore got the Triple Crown accreditation of AMBA, AACSB and ICWIS, making it one of the 100-odd institutions in the world to have the honor. His core teaching areas include negotiation, leadership, and justice. As the convener of CAT 2010, he successfully led the largest format change in the world's testing history, exceeding all global standards of testing. His profile includes a stint of over 8 years at Tata Steel India, where he played a pivotal role in developing quality system and the communication policy for the company. He sincerely believes in the power of academics to lead the change that people aspire to bring about in our society. Dr. Himanshu Rai is the chairperson of the Board of Directors Indore Management Association, chairperson of Advisory Board of Durban University of Technology Business School, South Africa, and member International Advisory Board of ESC Clermont Graduate School of Management, France. He is on the Advisory Committee of National Commission for Women, member of High-Powered Advisory Committee on Indian Knowledge System of Ministry of Education. He provides a strategic consultancy to the Government of India in a particular, as audited programs are sponsored by different ministries and the Planning Commission of India. He also provides a strategic consultancy to the state government in the areas of restructuring strategies, HR management, and employee development. An expert in the interpersonal negotiation, he provides consultancy in negotiation to individuals and organizations. He has been awarded Outstanding Management Professional Award in 2022 by Lucknow Management Association. Yoga for him is a means to balance the body, the mind, the spirit. He considers the Himalaya is a spiritual abode and is passionate about mountaineering and trekking. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Dr. Himanshu Rai.
Thank you very much, and a very good evening to everyone.
Most welcome, Rasab. I'm glad that you could make it. You're most welcome, and the whole stage is yours on ancient wisdom and sustainable economic development.
Thank you so much, Vikrant. And once you send an invitation, it's impossible to say no. And I'm so glad by the amazing work which is being done by United Consciousness. And this particular topic, I mean, it couldn't have been more pertinent, because when we talk about sustainable economic development, I want to look at, first of all, and I want to talk about what has the cost of economic development been so far? And what I see are four big areas which are very, very problematic to me. The first is inequality. The way in which economic development has happened over the past 3 decades has actually led to massive inequality. When you have a situation where 1% of the people in the world own 40% of the wealth, there's something very, very clearly wrong with the way we have gone about it. When we have a world where the difference between a privileged male and an underprivileged female is 100 years, there is something very wrong about the way we have gone about it. So, this to me is the first problem and needs to be addressed. The second problem is that of urban infrastructure. The way we have urbanized without putting in the systems,
Rai sir, I'm afraid your voice is not clear. Your connection, you may need to check again, I guess. Uh, I think your connection needs to be checked again because your voice is breaking.
Project Self, a non-profit organization that stands for empowering humanity with essential life skills for building a strong foundation for lifelong wellness. Our programs help individuals to gain better health, emotional intelligence, and spiritual awareness. Classes include kids yoga, adult yoga, mindfulness meditation, and scriptural studies. Yoga for kids are designed to keep the kids as kids, resilient, focused, and fit. Kid-friendly program focus on their social and emotional well-being.
The ultimate solution prescribed by Krishna is the self-knowledge, because only with the self-knowledge all our sufferings and problems can be removed.
Understanding and learning scriptures will help you lead a life with its full potential. It will help you to find peace, happiness, and contentment in life. Yoga for adult focus on physical postures that bring balance, flexibility, and body awareness. Carefully crafted program covers different aspects of meditation that bring body-mind relaxation and other powerful benefits including stress reduction.
Being a part of Project Self for over 5 years has not only given me so many physical benefits from doing yoga, but also many mental benefits from learning about mindfulness, wellness, and how to de-stress.
Pranayama class has helped me learn proper breathing technique, and the meditation class has helped me focus my mind better.
I am learning Vedanta as well as Bhagavad Gita to connect myself to the spiritual world as well as to understand the real meaning of this life.
I take great pride in introducing Professor Himanshu Rai. He is the director of IIM Indore. Under his leadership, IIM Indore got the Triple Crown accreditation of AMBA, AACSB and ICWIS, making it one of the 100-odd institutions in the world to have the honor. His core teaching areas include negotiation, leadership, and justice. As the convener of CAT 2010, he successfully led the largest format change in the world's testing history, exceeding all global standards of testing. His profile includes a stint of over 8 years at Tata Steel India, where he played a pivotal role in developing quality system and the communication policy for the company. He sincerely believes in the power of academics to lead the change that people aspire to bring about in our society. Dr. Himanshu Rai is chairperson of the Board of Directors Indore Management Association, chairperson of Advisory Board of Durban University of Technology Business School, South Africa, and member International Advisory Board of ESC Clermont Graduate School of Management, France. He is on the Advisory Committee of National Commission for Women, member of High Powered Advisory Committee on Indian Knowledge System of Ministry of Education. He provides a strategic consultancy to the Government of India in a particular, as audited programs are sponsored by different ministries and the Planning Commission of India. He also provides a strategic consultancy to the state government in the areas of restructuring strategies, HR management, and employee development. An expert in the interpersonal negotiation, he provides consultancy in negotiation to individuals and organizations.
Please go ahead, sir.
Very good evening.
Yes, you're audible, visible both. Please go ahead.
Wonderful. So thank you very much, Vikrant. And I'll restart with what I was talking about. When we talk about ancient wisdom and sustainable economic development, the first thing that we need to consider is what has the cost of economic development been, the way we have tried to bring it about in the last 2 or 3 decades. I see 4 major problems that the current economic development and the way we have gone about it has actually caused. The biggest challenge that I see is that of inequity. With 1% of people in the world holding 40% of the wealth, that's certainly not the way to go about it. If I look at the gender inequity, the difference between a privileged male and an underprivileged female in the world is 100 years. That's certainly not the way we want to go about the economic development. The second challenge that I see is in terms of urban infrastructure. And mind you, I'm not talking just about the global south, but I'm even talking about the global north. The urban infrastructure is crumbling everywhere, whether it is traffic, whether it is water, whether it is sanitation, whether it is hygiene. We see horror stories all over the world because that urban infrastructure, because of rapid urbanization, just cannot take that kind of pressure. All the metros across the world are facing this particular challenge. The third area is that of rural challenges. Now, many a times we completely forget that large part of the world, particularly in some parts of the world, people live in the rural areas and they have completely different set of challenges. For example, if I have to talk about my country, India, 900 million people live in rural areas. I want everyone, all of the people who are watching me, to wrap their head around that number, 900 million. That's more than the population of the United States and the Europe combined. And those people in the rural areas face completely different kinds of challenges. And the fourth problem that I see is the most obvious one, which is the problem related to environmental issues. Vikrant was talking about global warming. Global warming is a challenge, and we don't have much time left in terms of the kind of temperature rise that we see over here. One of the things is that we can't do much about it, because even if I had a magic wand and I stopped emitting greenhouse gases even today as a world, global warming is still going to happen because it takes almost 80 to 100 years for the greenhouse gases to dissipate. If you look at the rainfall pattern, for example, right now I'm in Dubai and I'm joining you people from Dubai. Dubai actually had floods and there was no drainage system. There was the sewerage system to deal with it because there was no rain ever. But Dubai had to deal with floods. If you look at the rainfall pattern across the world, the rainfall pattern has changed. And clearly, therefore, we need to think about what is the sustainable way of going about economic development. And for that, we refer to the ancient scriptures. I'm going to talk about the ancient wisdom from the Indian scriptures. One of the things that the world talks about today when we talk about environment is that we should recycle, we should reuse. But one of the things that people have started talking about is that we should reduce. And if I draw wisdom from the Indian scriptures, I will add a 4th R to it, and that is to refuse. So our first thing should be to refuse. Do I need another suit? Refuse. Perhaps not. Do I need to bring another car into the family? Refuse. Maybe you don't need it. Do I need to have one more thing? Refuse. And if you think you really need it, in that case, try to reduce. Try to reduce your consumption. And then try to reuse, try to recycle. Because by not refusing or reducing, we are actually putting a massive burden, not just on the society, but on the planet itself. The Yajurved says, Yad Jagrito Dur Mudaiti Daivam Tadu Suptasya Tathaivaiti. Duram Gamam Jyotisham Jyotirekam Tanme Manah Shiv Sankalpamastu. Translated in English, what it means is that the human mind has a tendency to travel very far in the state of wakefulness as it does while it is asleep. And this human mind is full of desires. And therefore, we need to control these desires. So if we can control the desires and separate them from our needs, we will realize that this universe has enough for every person's need. Like what Mahatma Gandhi said once, he said, this universe has got enough to satisfy every man's need, but this universe will fall short to satisfy even one man's greed. And therefore, what we need to understand is that the real economic development is not simply about materialistic consumption, but it is about consumption with responsibility. It's about saying no if you don't need more. It's about reducing if you don't need that much. It's about reusing if it can be reused, and certainly about recycling if it cannot be reused. So that is the first lesson that we draw from the ancient wisdom. The second lesson that I would like to draw is that of responsible leadership. What does responsible leadership mean, and why is it important? One of the most significant Indian scriptures that has impacted the way the world thinks, that has given us the philosophy of differentiating between the right and wrong, and I think most people around the world have heard of it, is the Bhagavad Gita. Now, many a times I've asked, what does Bhagavad Gita contain? What is the message in Bhagavad Gita? And today we are living in a world where everybody wants the message in the shortest number of words possible. And I tell them, the message of Bhagavad Gita lies between its first word and its last word. The first shlok of Bhagavad Gita says, Dharm kshetre kurukshetre samaveta yuyutsava mamaka pandavashchai kim kuruvat sanjay. I'm not going to tell you the entire translation, but suffice to say that the first word that Bhagavad Gita has is a word called dharma. And dharma, very loosely translated in English, means duty, your responsibility. And if you look at the last shloka of Bhagavad Gita, it says, Yatra Yogeshwaraha Krishno, Yatra Partho Dhanurdaraha, Tatra Shrir Vijyor Bhutir, Nitir Dhruva Mama, Dhruva Nitir Mama. So the last word of Bhagavad Gita is Mama. Mama means mine. And therefore, the entire gist of Bhagavad Gita is, what is my dharma? What is my duty? What is my responsibility? And therefore, everything that's written in the Bhagavad Gita talks about two elements that you need to develop inside you to become a responsible leader. It says you need to have the ability to see things. What does ability to see things mean? Ability to anticipate the consequences of your action in the short, medium, and long term. Ability to understand what lies outside of that door, what lies behind that wall, which means whatever we do today, we should try and see what is the impact going to be. If we are making certain kind of economic development in certain kind of regions, let's say we are trying to build a road in the hills, let's see what is the impact on the environment going to be. If we are increasing the industrial output, let's see what is the impact going to be on the water and the air in that particular area. The ability to understand, the ability to anticipate. The second element that the Bhagavad Gita talks about is integrity. Now, most of the philosophies, they talk about integrity as walking the talk. But the Bhagavad Gita and the Yajurved together say it's not just about walking the talk, but it's about manasa, vacha, karmana. And what it means is that your thoughts, your words, and your actions, all three have to be in consonance, which means say what you mean and then do what you say. That's the first element. And the second element is whatever you think, say, or do has to be for the universal good and not for the individual good. So this simple phenomenon of collectivism, of talking about the universal good, the United Consciousness talks about universal good. We talk about sarve bhavantu sukhina, that everyone in this universe should be happy. We don't talk about a particular community, we don't talk about a particular country, we don't talk about a particular landmass, etc., etc. We say sarve bhavantu sukhina. We say sarva asha mam mitram bhavantu. That's what the ancient wisdom talks about, that all the directions should be friendly to us. It says, yo asman dushtayam vayam dushmashtam bojam bhedadvaha. That this feeling of jealousy, if I have that feeling of jealousy towards somebody else, and if somebody else has the feeling of jealousy towards me, we should try and burn that feeling of jealousy. And therefore, our ancient wisdom talks about responsible leadership using these two dimensions. The third element that our ancient wisdom talks about in terms of sustainable economic development is to understand who you are. And what do I mean by that? Many a times we look at the human body and then we try to consume things according to the requirements of the human body. But it is not the body, because the ancient wisdom says your body is not the real you. Your soul is the real you. And therefore, you should try not just to take care of your body, but also to take care of your soul. It says the soul is very, very different. Nenam chindanti shastrani, nenam dahati pavakaha, na chainam kledyanti apo, na shoshyati marutaha. Nenam chindanti shastrani, the weapons can't put holes into it. Nenam dahati pavaka, fire cannot destroy it. Na chainam kledyanti apo, water cannot make it wet. Na shoshyati marutaha, which means that the air or the wind cannot make it dry. And therefore, once we start understanding the reality of who we truly are, the reality of our soul, we understand that what is more important is how do we make our soul content? And please remember, the contentment of the soul does not come merely with materialistic development. I'm not poo-pooing, or I'm not being condescending towards material development. Of course, I need food to eat, I need clothes to wear, we need water to drink, we need certain things that we require. However, how much do we really?
Raisab, I'm afraid that your signal again are lost. Probably you are able to listen me, but your image, now we can see you and your image is moving, but your voice is not coming. This is the last thing we really wanted to happen right now, because you were so flawless in speaking what you were saying. And I think that your signal again got lost. Nevertheless, now he has joined again. Raisab, I'm afraid your signals are still not clear, because your voice is breaking and your picture is coming in pixel. Probably you are able to listen to me, and I know that you had some pressing engagement, but you still took out time for us. If you happen to settle your signals, then we'll be very happy to have you again. But seems there is some concern at your end. Would like to extend my sincere thanks, Raisab. We really wanted to listen your talk completely. As you mentioned about refuse, then reduce, then recycle, then reuse and recycle. That was very profound. It reminded us of Ten Tekten Bhunjita. You quoted Yajurveda, you quoted Bhagavad Gita. Second, you mentioned about responsible leadership, and Mama Dharma is the essence. You mentioned that follow your own duty and do it with Mansa Vacha Karmana. And you told that it should be, you invoke the feeling of Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah. And the third point you mentioned about understand who we are, and so that the contentment of soul is most important and doesn't come with only material things. So now I think we got your signals. If you would like to complete, now I can see you.
Can you hear me?
What to do? Now,
Can
yes, now we can hear you.
So I'll just conclude, because I was going to conclude anyway. So what I meant was that when I talk about why do you need to understand your relationship with the universe? Because the moment you understand your relationship with the universe, you also understand your responsibility. For example, if I know this is my father, I automatically know what my responsibility towards my father is. And that's what the ancient Indian wisdom talks about. Understand your relationship with water. Understand your relationship with trees. Understand your relationship with animals. And once you know, once you have understood it, make sure that you do something about it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave you with one story. A little girl was walking with her father on a beach. The father was talking on the cell phone, and he walked a few steps and paces ahead of the little girl. He turned back after he finished his conversation, and he saw that there were thousands and thousands of starfishes which were being washed ashore, and his little daughter was picking up the fish and throwing them back into the sea. The father smiled an indulgent smile, and he said, "What are you doing, darling?" The little girl said, "Father, I'm trying to save these fish." The father said, "Little girl, can't you see that there are thousands and thousands of fishes? Baby, you can't make a difference to this." The little girl bent, picked up a fish, threw it back into the water, and said, "Dad, I made a difference to that one." Ladies and gentlemen, be that girl. And for that, you can always draw upon wisdom that lies in the roots that we come from. Thank you very much. And it was such a pleasure being with you all.
Thank you, Rai Saab. And now I think people watching us from different parts of the world knows why I insist so much to you that you should be there in the programs. Thank you for giving us an enigmatic start and an energetic beginning. So kind
Thank you so much. My pleasure, Vikrant. All the best.
Good wishes. Thank you very much.
On behalf of United Consciousness, I thank Dr. Himanshu Rai for coming onto the platform of United Consciousness and sharing his views.
I'm privileged to announce our next eminent speaker, who is the specialist of Ayurveda. Please welcome Dr. Jose Ruge Ribeiro from Brazil. He is Doctor of Medicine specialized in intensive care and postgraduated in Ayurveda, Yogacharya by Sudha Dharma Mandalam. Dr. Jose Ruge is a president in institutions such as Sudha Yoga and Ayurveda, Kalayasa Ayurveda Clinics, Shri Vajra Foundations, Brahma Vidyalaya Yoga School, Sudha Sabha Yoga Ashram, and Annapurna Natural Foods. He is a coordinator of the Ayurveda postgraduate course of the Italiano Brasilia University, Brazil, and president of the World Yoga and Ayurveda Movement, Ayurveda sector. He is also the member of the International Academy of Ayurveda, Pune, India, and a member of the editorial board of several international scientific journals. So put your hands together to welcome Dr. Jose Ruge Ribeiro.
Most welcome, Dr. Ruge. So nice to have you here. Stage is all yours. We are so happy that you'll be speaking on exploring spirituality as a pathway of self-discovery and personal growth. Most welcome.
Thank you so much. First of all, thanks to United Consciousness and Dr. Vikrant for this wonderful opportunity. And I would like to start with chant of a mantra of peace, because this is our main object in this meeting, in Shantipata. Please follow me. Om Dhyau Shantirantariksham Shanti Prithvi Shantirapah Shantir Oshadhaya Shanti Vanaspataya Shantir Vishve Deva Shantir Brahma Shanti Sarvam Shanti Shantireva Shanti Samashantiredi Om Shanti 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 Om. Peace in the sky, peace in the atmosphere, peace in the earth, peace in its water, peace in plants, peace in the trees, peace in the gods, presiding over the various elements of nature, peace in the Brahman, absolute consciousness, peace in providing everywhere, peace alone, it outside, is in peace, which is inside. May you be established in peace and make your life fulfill it. Om, peace, peace, peace. In today's fast-paced and often chaotic world, many individuals find themselves searching of deeper meaning and purpose in their lives. Spirituality, in its various forms, has emerged as a powerful avenue for self-discovery and personal growth. Let us delve in the essence of spirituality, its role in fostering self-awareness, and how it can facilitate transformative personal development. First of all, understanding what is spirituality. Spirituality is a broad concept that encompasses a range of beliefs, practices, and experience. It's often characterized by a quest of understanding life's deeper meanings, a connection to something greater than oneself, and an exploring of one's inner self. Unlike organized religion, spirituality is more personal and subjective, allowing individuals to define their own paths. At its core, spirituality invites individuals to reflect on their values, beliefs, and purpose. This reflection can take many forms, including meditation, prayer, mindfulness, and engaging with nature. By exploring these practices, individuals can cultivate a deeper connection to themselves and the world around them. What's the role of self-discovery? Self-discovery is a fundamental aspect of personal growth. It involves gaining insights into one's identity, desires, motivations, and fears. Spirituality acts as a catalyst for this process, encouraging introspection and self-examination. What's the techniques of self-discovery? First of all, meditation. This practice allows individuals to quiet their minds and connect with their inner selves. Through regular meditation, we can develop the greater awareness of thoughts and emotions, leading to profound insights about personal motivation and desires, and discover in the deep of oneself the presence of God or Atma. Journaling, writing about thoughts, feelings, and experience can be a powerful tool for self-discovery. Journaling encourages reflection and helps individuals to articulate their innermost thoughts, leading to clarity and understanding. Mindfulness. Practicing mindfulness involves being fully present in the moment. This heightened awareness can reveal patterns of behavior and thought that may have gone unnoticed, fostering deeper self-understanding and anticipate identification with our negative patterns, not being a mechanical prey to our habits and conditioning. Natural connection is very important. Spending time in nature can facilitate a spiritual experience that promotes self-reflection. Nature often provides a sense of peace and perspective, allowing individuals to contemplate their place in the world. What about personal growth through spirituality? Once self-discovery has begun, the next step is personal growth. Spirituality can significantly enhance this process by providing tools and frameworks for transformation, cultivation about positive qualities. Engaging in spiritual practices often leads to the development of positive qualities such as empathy, compassion, and resilience. These traits are essential for personal growth and can improve relationships with others, as well as foster a deeper connection to oneself. Empathy. Spirituality encourages individuals to look beyond their own experience and understand the perspective of others. This empathetic approach can lead to more meaningful relationships and a sense of community. Compassion. A spiritual mindset fosters compassion towards oneself and others. This quality is crucial for personal healing and growth, as it allows individuals to accept their imperfection and those of others. Resilience. Spirituality can provide individuals with the strength to face challenges and setbacks. By cultivating a sense of purpose and connection, individuals can navigate life's difficulty with greater ease. Setting intentions. Spirituality often involves setting intentions for personal growth. These intentions have a guiding principles that align actions with values and aspirations. By clear defining what one wishes to achieve, individuals can create a roadmap to their personal development journey. Overcoming limiting beliefs. Spirituality can help individuals identify and overcome limiting beliefs that hinder personal growth. These beliefs, often rooted in fear or past experience, can create barriers to achieving one's potential. Through spiritual practice, individuals can challenge these beliefs and replace them with empowered narratives. In conclusion, exploring spirituality is a pathway to self-discovery and personal growth. Is a transformative journey that can lead to a more fulfilling and meaningful life. By engaging in practices that foster introspection and connection, individuals can uncover their true selves, cultivate positive qualities, and navigate life's challenges with resilience. As we continue to seek understanding in an increasingly complex world, spirituality offers a guiding light, illuminating the path towards self-awareness and personal development. Embracing this journey can lead to profound change, ultimately enriching not only our own lives, but also the lives of those around us. And in our lives, we choose to seek in our professional activities as a medical doctor. The traditional system of India is Ayurveda. Ayurveda helps us to understand the difference among the people. One people have more vata qualities, another people more pitta qualities, another people more kapha qualities, and then we can see the difference is natural. How to live in unity, respecting the difference between among all the peoples. And the yoga help us to show the philosophy, the unity philosophy, like explained before me, about all the we can learn with Bhagavad Gita. But this is a universal thinking. It's a universal traditional system, not only for India, but for all the peoples in all the world. Sanatana Dharma, the eternal law, is for all the people. This is a heritage for all of us. And this is help us to change this very confused moment the humanity are living now. So thank you for the United Consciousness and Dr. Vikrant for this opportunity. Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ruge. And so profoundly, you mentioned about the importance of self-discovery and meditation as a strong tool. You suggested our audience to write their thought and feelings, and because it is important for self-discovery, you gave emphasis on mindfulness, empathy, compassion, resilience, that how it can help in overcoming limiting beliefs. I'm sure the tips and the tools that you suggested during your speech will largely benefit to the audience. We are so grateful, Dr. Ruge, that you accepted our request. I invite you very sincerely. You are coming to Ujjain in February 14th, 15th, or 16th for our global event. We'll be so happy to host you there. Most welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
On behalf of United Consciousness, I thank Dr. Jose Ruge Ribeiro for coming onto the platform of United Consciousness and sharing his views. Thank you so much, Dr. Jose. I'm honored to welcome our next guest, Professor Dharm P.S. Bhavuk. He is Professor of Management and Culture and Community Psychology, University of Hawaii at Manau, USA. His research interests include indigenous psychology and management and cross-cultural training. He has published more than 110 papers in books chapters and made over 250 presentations internationally. He is a founding fellow of International Academy of Intercultural Research, fellow of Indian Academy of Management, foreign fellow of National Academy of Psychology, India, and was Ed Smith Richardson's Junior Visiting Fellow, Center for Creative Leadership, Greensboro, North California, since 2009 to 2010, and he is the recipient of many awards. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Professor Dharm P.S. Bhavuk.
Most welcome, Professor Bhavuk. So nice to see you again. And you are most welcome to hold stage is yours to speak on trust and spiritual connection, building bridges through faith.
Let's see if the PowerPoint, can you see the PowerPoint? Let's close our eyes for a minute in silence and then we'll resume. I will also close my eyes. We can slowly open our eyes. I want to share with you one of my experiences and how that has led to a 20-year experience of working together with that person across geographic distance and time zones. And so using that experience, I would like to show how we can connect with, two people can connect on the plane of spirituality, and how that would lead to building trust and building bridges. So I'll first share an experience, and then from that experience, I will develop a model. And then I'll also bring in the intergroup contact theory of Allport and how that helps us connect. And then I will end with a quote from Brother Jesus, which is in Matthew's, and then summarize the presentation. In 2004, I met Steve Coolidge in Xi'an, China, which is the ancient capital of China. We were both there for the International Association for Cross-Cultural Psychology conference, biannual conference. The universe planned it in a very interesting way. Neither of us got our single room, and so the organizers requested if we could share a room. And we both said that should be okay. Now, that basically put Steve and me for 5 days in a room, and we saw each other's practice. So in the morning, I get up and get ready and I meditate. And in the evening, I do chanting. And Steve gets up in the morning and does his reflection and writes his journal. And so the two of us got to know each other's practice. And we also saw that we were both practitioners. So from this point on, let me share with you the model, because that will help us then connect all the ideas that I want to discuss with you. And so I'm going to use a visual here that's just coming up shortly. And what you should be able to see is that there are two people. So person A, so that is me, and person 2 is my good friend of 20 years, Steve Coolidge. And we both have a practice. So here, and we come from two different cultures. So I come from Nepal, and my practice is that of Hinduism, and Steve is from America, and he is a practicing Christian. So we both have our own faith. So person 1 has faith 1 and person 2 has faith 2. Now, what is interesting here is when two people come into contact under supportive conditions. So I'm referring to now the intergroup contact theory of Allport. And what Allport presented was that when people have interpersonal contact under suitable conditions, then that contact itself is an effective way of reducing prejudice. So in his classic The Nature of Prejudice, he presented interpersonal contact as the necessary condition needed for reducing or removing prejudices. So let's go back to the PowerPoint and then appreciate that two people who have their practice. So we had shared faith in life beyond this physical existence. And that is our shared faith, but we are coming from two different worldview, two different practices. Now that shared faith that there is something beyond this material world connected us. And so that is what I'm calling spiritual connection. Now with that spiritual connection, we were able to develop a trust and we could share our experience with each other. And that led to then building bridges for the next 20 years. And so I have visited Steve in the last 20 years, every year since 2014. And he also included me in working with his students there. So I have worked with many doctoral students there and also other graduate and undergraduate students. So we see that when two people have practice. So here I want to add that it's not, Allport talks about two people coming in contact. And so that's intercultural contact, but I'm adding here that spiritual practice part. So when two people share faith, which is an outcome of their practice, then that leads to shared faith, which leads to spiritual connectivity, and then that leads to trust and building bridges. Now, if we were to look at this model in the Indian worldview, then we can see that the words would become different. So this is for people who understand Indian culture and vocabulary. So there are two sadhakas or practitioners. And so this basically, the foundational requirement is that these are two people who have their own practice. And this practice is, so the two sadhakas have their own practice and the practice, their practices are different. I think I needed to go back. If you are managing the PowerPoint, there is a, or maybe you don't have that power. I sent you the new PowerPoint. So I added one on Indian concept. Okay, I think you do not have that. Sorry about that, but I can use this PowerPoint to connect. So the two sadhakas have then different practices, and therefore their shraddha is different. And in Bhagavad Gita, 17th canto, Sri Krishna says that Sattva anurupa sarvasya shraddha bhavati bharata shraddha mayo ayam purushah yo yat shraddha sa eva sa. So according to one's antahkarana, internal making, one's shraddha is shaped. And then in Canto 17, he talks about 3 types of shraddha. So we are talking about shared shraddha here. So if I have sattvic shraddha and the other person has sattvic shraddha, then our shraddha is shared. And then that sharing of shraddha leads to adhyatmic sambandha. So spiritual connection would be called adhyatmic sambandha. And then that would lead to trust, would be abhaya. So there is no fear between the two people. And the bridge building is basically lok sangraha. So people will be working for the better good. The way I said in case of my relationship with Steve, we are able to work with our students across time and space. So to build that foundation, I would like to bring a prayer from New Testament, which is in Matthew 6.9 to 13. And then I would like to analyze that briefly. So the prayer, Jesus says, and in this manner you should pray. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. So now I would like to analyze this prayer, and we can see how a prayer like this connects two people. So our Father, so of course Father is in heaven, so not focusing on where Father is, but that our Father makes two people a family. So P1 and P2 are a family. Hallowed be thy name. So we are focusing on, it's neither person 1 nor person 2's name, but we are focusing on the name of our Father. Thy kingdom come. So we are talking about neither person 1 nor person 2's space. So I'm using kingdom as for space. So either person is not thinking about my space, my name, and they are already thinking about being a family. Thy will be done. So neither P1 nor P2's will we are talking about. We are talking about God's will. Give us this day our daily bread. So now we are talking about P1 and P2's needs. So we have different needs, but bless us with our needs. Forgive us our debts. So we have different lapses, but forgive us our lapses. Lead us not into temptation. So again, P1 and P2 away from negativity. And if you can show the full PowerPoint, then we have, and lead us away from or protect us from evil. And so, and then we end with, for thine is the kingdom, for thine is the power, and for thine is the glory. So it's all about God. So a prayer like this, what it does is it brings two people who have spiritual practice on a different plane. And that is what the basic essence of the model is, that we are talking about two practitioners. And then in 6:14 and 15, Jesus says, and for if ye forgiven men their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. So here is the practice of forgiveness. And in intercultural interactions, people with different faith coming together, we need to cultivate that practice. So to summarize, we have a theory of interfaith spiritual connection. A theory is a construct, and understanding its antecedent, what causes it, and its consequences, what are its outcomes. So the antecedents of spiritual connection is regular prayer in one's own faith. So being strong in one's own faith and not in another faith. So we do not need to worry about other people's practices. So if you practice mindfulness, continue to practice mindfulness. If I practice japa, I should continue to practice japa. You may be Christian, you may be Muslim, I'm Hindu. So let's practice in our own faith. So regular prayer in one's own faith. And then we basically need supportive interaction conditions that's coming from all port. And that helps developing a shared faith. So these are the antecedents of spiritual connection, and that gives us spiritual connection. And once we have spiritual connection, then the consequences are interpersonal trust and also community bridge building. And then we should keep in mind that this interpersonal and interfaith interaction will require cultivation of forgiveness. And that is why Brother Jesus says that, forgive men their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. So if we forgive others, God will also forgive us. So we can see that spiritual connectivity gives us a theory of interfaith spiritual connection, which can lead to community bridge building and interpersonal trust. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Professor Bhauk, and you did absolute justice with the topic. You took, as Swamiji said, Swami Vivekananda mentioned, East and the best of East and West should be combined. So you beautifully took the Allport 1954 research also, intergroup contact theory, and then you founded that one should continue their own faith, and along with that, if they get supportive conditions, interaction, then it leads to spiritual connections, and consequences of a spiritual connection is interpersonal trust and community bridge building. So you rightly said that in today's day and age, where lots of pressure on conversion happens from here to there, you mentioned that continue with your own faith, and spiritual connections automatically sprout up with the supporting environments. So kind of you, Professor Bhauk, it was a very literary study that you conducted. I'm sure that with this PPT, many research scholars and academicians will be highly inspired. So do I. So kind of you.
On behalf of United Consciousness, I thank Professor Dharam P.S. Bhavuk for coming on to the platform of United Consciousness and sharing his views. Thank you so much. Our next performance is Hula dance from Hawaii Islands. It is the storytelling dance paired with chants or contemporary music, slow and sentimental in tempo or fast and energetic. Hula animates history in genealogy, prophecy, and the tales of those who came before. Our performance, Gail Elena Roberts, is a well-known Italian hula dancer. She leads the Italian branch of the International Hula School. She has been following the teachings of ancient and modern hula from her master, Kelly Johanna, for 23 years. Gail Elena remains actively involved in the Paris branch of school, continuing to study and make presentations with them in France, Hawaii, and abroad. In 2007, Gail Elena received the consent from a hula master to teach authentic Hawaii hula in Italy. Gail Elena Roberts is the only teacher in Italy with the consent from her master. So please applaud for Gail Elena Roberts for her performance.
Aloha and welcome to United Consciousness International World Peace Day 2024. We'd like to share with you a traditional Hawaiian hula, Ku'uluwehi o Kekai, which talks about the beauty of nature and the different kinds of seaweed, which also has a hidden meaning. It was composed by Edith Kanaka Ole, an important figure in modern Hawaiian culture, and the choreography is by Rose Joshua, and it was shared with us, our school Hula o Manoa, by our hula master Kilo Hana Silv.
Sí.
On behalf of United Consciousness, I thank Ms. Gail Elema Roberts for coming onto the platform of United Consciousness. Thank you so much. Meditation as a profound practice of mindfulness and inner calm plays a crucial role in bolstering collective resilience during crisis. By fostering emotional balance and mental clarity, meditation equips communities to face challenges with unity and strength. In times of turmoil, this shared practice becomes a powerful tool for collective healing and recovery. So, the topic of our panel discussion today is the impact of meditation on collective resilience in the time of crisis. Today we also have with us Arjuna, guest of Plaza, a renowned yoga and meditation teacher. He started his yoga path at a very early age and has over 30 years of practice and study of yoga. His sharing and presentation of yoga includes various aspects of the tradition such as Hatha Yoga, meditation, pranayam, philosophy, yoga metaphysics and yoga nidra. He has participated as a presenter and teacher in international yoga events like Bhakti Feast, Joshua Tree, California, USA, Dakini Festival, Yoga General Conference, Moscow. With a steady, firm, yet humorous and kind teaching style, he shares the wisdom and this ancient tradition with everyone. Our next guest is Keleahana Silve, who is hula artist and choreographer. She always sought to promote Hawaiian culture abroad. She founded the first Hawaiian dance school in France, Halau Hula o Menau, named after the valley in which she was born. After 30 years in Paris, she returned to Hawaii and continues to teach Haumana in Alaska and China. Through her classes at Kapiolena Hospital Women's Center and the Salvation Army's drug recovery program, she has become a pioneer in the promising new field of hula for health. She also participated in the annual Talk Story Festival in Honolulu and released a CD of Hawaii tales, chants and music. I feel honored to welcome our guest, Mr. Valdemar Parado. He has been a member of World Association for Former United Nations Interns and Fellows, and since 2003 as a Senior Research Fellow in Science and Technology for Development and currently serving as an Executive Vice President of the organization. He has been teaching and on research positions at several universities in Mexico, Latin America, and US. During this time, he has been involved in developing and implementing technology solutions for development in emerging and developing countries. Held professorship in physics, mathematics, computer science, biomedical science, and technology. He has been commissioned to participate in the different forums and conferences at ECO, SOC, DPI, and WSIS in topics related with the impact of ITCs and development as well as the transfer of technology at the United Nations. He also has been involved and consulted in financing for development projects for communities in several regions of the world. He also has been consultant, advisor and facilitator for science and technology transfer for the government of Chile, Colombia, Peru, Dominican Republic, Honduras, Bolivia, Costa Rica, Panama, Venezuela, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, Brazil, and Mexico, also in the areas of creation of local capacities. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Mr. Waldemar Prado. I'm pleased to welcome and introduce our guest, Ms. Eliza Carolina Tornegra, who is a nature lover who believes in human virtues and with the purpose of life in favor of communities with greater vulnerability. She is doctor and specialist in social security, health services management, masters in quality management from the University of Murcia, Spain, and training for Latin American leaders in health system at Harvard University, Warwick, and Oxford. She has extensive experience in social security, health management, health information system design, and evaluation of public policies and representation of non-profit companies. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Ms. Eliza Carolina. Today's panel discussion will be moderated by Dr. Vikrant Singh Tobar, convener United Consciousness. Dr. Tomer is an acknowledged trainer, academician, scholar, writer, and a management consultant. He's a freelance trainer and served the cabinet ministers of state, MLAs, police officers, and tycoons of the business world. His aim and objective is universal brotherhood and happiness through harmonizing the knowledge from the ancient scriptures into our lives. So I welcome all our guests for panel discussion.
What a wonderful time to be with all of you. We acknowledge and respect your presence. Kilohana ji from Hawaii. Aloha.
Aloha.
We acknowledge and respect your presence. Arjuna ji from Ecuador. Namaste. Most welcome.
Namaskar. Namaste.
We welcome you, our friend Waldemar ji from Mexico. Namaste, Waldemar ji. So good to see you. And our dear friend Elisa ji from Colombia. Most welcome, Elisa ji. And participants and audience watching this program from different parts of the world, we are going to have panel discussion on the impact of meditation on collective resilience in the times of crisis. World is going through a different phase. Lots of crises of different types are at different parts of the world. These crises are external and some are internal in nature. So as it is said that old civilizations got vanished due to external attacks, civilizations to come will get vanished due to internal attack. So to begin with, how meditation can help us in being more resilient. But the question comes is, what is meditation? Many people have their various definitions of it. May I request Arjuna ji to begin with it. Arjuna ji, what is meditation?
Namaskar. Thank you so much, Dr. Vikrant, for this opportunity to share with so many people on these special days, celebrating and remembering the importance of peace in the world. We have always to remember that the great sages of the East, the great sages of India, the great Himalayan masters, from which they share the knowledge through all the world, they remember this practice of dhyana as the natural state of our mind, is a natural state of our being. If we go through the different scriptures, when we define 4 stages of the mind, we have the wakeful state, sleep state, and dreamless sleep state. Then we have a 4th state. This is the 4th state, which literally is named Turiya, and that is called to be the natural state of our mind, the natural state of our being. Sometimes I use this word mind because we don't find a better word in Spanish, but or in Western languages, as the difference, we would be the natural state of ourselves, the Atman, what we really are. So meditation is, in a sense, will be a practice to allow us to connect with this essence of what we are. I would like just to address a small contribution that the Taoist and Chinese Taoist philosophy went to meditation. If we go to the word dhyana, which comes from dhyana in India, then goes to jhana in Pali in the Buddhist teaching, and it goes from Pali teaching goes to Chinese teaching. But the word dhyana comes from jhana in Pali, goes for China. The word is chan, so meditation chan. So the word turns a little different. Sometimes we tend to think meditation is just absorption, and the word chana or chan means entering, place where the mountains and the river get together. Place where the mountains and the river get together. It is a sacred place in the Taoist cosmology. So meditation is going back to our sacred place, to our internal space.
So nice. Meditation is going back to our sacred place. And when I listen such sentences, my heart goes to Hawaii directly to understand how Hawaiian culture looks at meditation. Kilona Hanaji, over to you.
Aloha kako. I am so honored to be included in this wonderful celebration that you've created to bring us all to this beautiful sacred place of peace. And that experience, Hula, which is a path, a spiritual path as well. We tend to think of Hula as portrayed in Hollywood movies, but in fact, the ancient practice of Hula is all about connecting to nature, going to this beautiful sacred place that was just described. The ancient word for hula is actually ha'a. Ha'a, which could be the movement in nature, the movement of the waves, the movement of the clouds in the sky, the movement of the wind through the trees. Ancient legends speak of the mythical dancer Hopoi, the first hula dancer, who, in a state of meditation, would receive beautiful messages from nature.
Perfect. So profound things you mentioned. Would you like to pronounce it again? It is haha or what?
Ha-a. It's almost like ha-a.
Okay. Ha-a. Is it okay? Ha-a. Perfect. So we understood this that meditation in Hawaiian tradition is a spiritual path of connecting back to the nature and in the state of flow, in the state of the movement and the flow of nature. I'll come to our friend from Colombia. When we talk about meditation, you come from Latin America. How it has been seen there? What is meditation for you?
Thank you, Bikram, for this event. There are many lines and definitions with these teachings, techniques, philosophy, history, but I think meditation is the practice that allows us to connect with the person who knows us best, ourselves. It helps us understand what we really want, to recognize our worries, pains, desires, and the most intimate aspects of our life, while revealing their causes and guiding us towards resolution. It's a time, space, and attitude that filter the noise of the world, even from our thoughts, which allows us to see our reality clearly. It also helps us identify what we really want and what adjustments we need to make to achieve. The more we get involved in meditation, the more valuable it becomes.
Thank you very much, Alisaji. Connecting with the person who knows us the best is meditation, and that person is self. Wow. So we have our friend Waldemar Prado from Mexico. Waldemar ji, when we have understood from different experts what meditation is, my question to you would be how this meditation can help us. How does it help us during the time of crisis? How does it increase our resilience? Just sitting quietly, how does it make us more resilient?
Well, Namaskaram. Thank you for having us and spreading this important information to the world. I think there is a little bit of confusion about meditation these days, especially the dichotomy between East and West. There is a tradition in the Western culture that we call meditation, and a little bit different in the Eastern traditions, Buddhism, Taoism, Vedanta. In general, from the perspective of yoga, resilience comes from being capable of confront situations of crisis, because naturally our biological part tends to respond to crisis with usually two reactions: fight or flight. That's how we call this response in the Western sciences. In the Eastern cultures, especially in the yogic tradition of Patanjali and the Vedanta tradition, the Samkhya tradition, there are several components of our being that influence our responses to the world. We have, in the process of creations, ahamkara, which is the ego, or equivalent to what we call ego in the Western culture. There is body, mahat, there is manas, and there is chitta. Our problem is that we tend to identify a lot with what we call in the Western tradition the mind. The mind takes over our lives, and we identify with our thoughts. And in a situation of crisis, if we don't have control of our thoughts, we tend to run with the thoughts and react to the environment, usually with paranoia or aggression and things like that. And so, according to the Eastern traditions, also to the Western traditions, being capable of center ourselves in the deeper senses of a higher mind, not the lower mind that responds to stimuli from the environment, but to be able to have the higher mind, the body, the mahat, keep calm under stressful situations, and not letting the animal or the lower mind to react to the external stimuli, would help us to get in touch with our inner selves, our higher mind, and therefore we would not react from our biological part, but from a center of our inner, what in Western is called inner soul, and in that way we can stay, to start with, calm under different stressful circumstances. And of course, if there is a real danger, then we can also react with a calm mind to the situation and be able to make intelligent decisions about how to react to the situations. So meditation, the training of the mind to be able to distinguish between what is real and what is not real, in terms of threats or crisis situations, is very important. And in this sense, from the Eastern perspective, to be able to contact with the higher states of mind, it would help us to react and to have, let's say, a creative reaction instead of just basically the animal part or the biological parts in ourselves.
Thank you very much, Waldemarji. You mentioned philosophy, you mentioned science also, you mentioned East also, you mentioned West also, and you rightly said that connecting with the higher mind and training our mind between what is real and not real is what meditation stands for. Once we have understood meditation from different perspectives, and we have understood that meditation really help us to deal with the situations in a more calmer way. Arjuna ji, you mentioned various traditions of meditation. We have audience watching us from different parts of the world. If anybody who is not at all exposed to meditation, he wants to be initiated so that he can deal with the situations better, what will you suggest to him? What kind of meditation should he begin with? You are muted.
Since time immemorial, all the traditions gather together in two main practices that can help us to calm our minds and to focus ourselves, to center ourselves, and to clean ourselves. If you go to any tradition of the world, you call it even the shaman tradition from Siberia, from the ancestral medicine traditions from Latin America, either you go to any other tribes in the past, or you go to Indian yogis, you would always find two main aspects, would mean silence and fasting.
Silence and
Fasting, not eating. So in all traditions you find this, and this silence can bring you inside. So if in the beginning there is no practice, the main thing that we can use, like if we really want to go deeper into spiritual life, as in any thing and any aspect of life, we need to have a spiritual master, a teacher, someone that teaches and can share us this knowledge. But if you don't have this at the beginning, just sit in silence and allow yourself just to feel the presence, going beyond the thought, just to feel your body, to feel your breath, to feel, just to be and to observe in silence. And then also this second aspect is just, as I'm quoting, is just a very well known aspect in the all traditions of the world, fasting, like not eating for one day or for one morning. You will have more time to go deep into yourself. You find it in any tradition, just going to silence and not eating is a good practice to begin. Not eating for many days, just a couple of hours, just to relax the tummy and relax your mind.
so nice. Not giving food either to tummy nor for mind, and silence, fasting, and getting a guru. So nicely suggested by Arjuna ji. Uh, let's connect this silence and fasting to our friend from Hawaii. We saw that Hawaiian dance also. How when we see this dance, it reminds us of woods flowing in air. It reminds us of nature. It is so beautifully done. So Kilehonaji, when and how does people talk? How do we teach people meditation in Hawaii? What are some techniques you would like to suggest to the audience from different parts of the world?
Please, Ilima Almana, my student, Ilima and her students sharing hula in Italy, in Rome. Very authentic hula. And to answer your question, where do you begin? Well, you begin as you do in India and elsewhere. You begin with the breath, what we call in Hawaiian the ha. And breathing is so essential for life, the essence of life. We can live without food or water for several days if need be, but we cannot live without the breath. And in ancient Hawaiian tradition, the breathing was so essential, so important, that the teaching of how to breathe, the importance of breathing, strengthening the breath, was taught even as a game to children. There would be this delightful game where families, the whole village would be sitting at the beach at sunset, and just as the sun was going down, this big, bright, fiery red ball of fire right on the line of the horizon, all the children would chant the sun to bed. And so, take a deep breath. There's the sun about to appear. Let's put it to bed. And everyone would start chanting. And the idea would be, as a game, which of all the children could maintain their voice until the sun had disappeared below the horizon. And so the elders, kupuna as we call them, would be sitting there and they'd observe and they'd say, "Oh, my goodness, that little boy over there, his voice carries, it's full, it's strong. He has a very strong ha." And so the breath is the beginning. And in the work I do, Hula for Health, I work with young women in drug recovery program, and I start with the breathing, just to find that sense of relaxation and calm within themselves. Also, in work I do with an Alzheimer's study to see if hula can help the memory, we start with the breath.
Wow, that's profound, and it's so nice to see how it is weaved in the tradition and how it is taught to the kids also. That's amazing. Thank you very much. And you also give that hula or meditation helps to deal with Alzheimer disease also. Thank you very much, Kiliohana ji. Waldemar ji, you talk about Vedantic practices. Any particular technique of Vedantic meditation or any particular method of meditation you would like to suggest to the audience here, so that they can connect with themselves, their higher self, in a better way?
Well, I would refer to Patanjali's definition in the second sutra about yoga, when he says that, yoga's chitta-vritti nirodha, in order to become to a yogic state, we must stop the turmoils of the mind, the whirlwinds of the mind. So even though there may be different styles or types of meditation, I think in the end, all of them focus in having been or being able to concentrate, to focus the mind. And for that, we have to take into account self-observation, the simple fact of observing your body and paying attention to your breathing. It creates a profound effect in the rest of your being. So I would refer to that sutra in the Yoga Sutra of Patanjali, to be able to stabilize the mind, not to run away with the thoughts that many times are meaningless, or we can create paranoias and aggression from our own internal conflicts and project them outside. So for me, I've studied different and practiced different schools or techniques of meditation, but all of them center in being able to stabilize the mind, and not to let the lower mind take over, because the lower mind reacts to stimuli, pain, pleasure, and things like that. But being able to get in touch with the inner mind, it's only possible if you are able to calm your thoughts, which are always moving in a natural way, inside, outside, subjective, objective, and we run with our thoughts, and that destabilizes our whole life. So being able to focus, or to practice the samyama, which is concentration, meditation, and being able to calm the mind, and then you can apply many different techniques. Could be in some cases um, saying a mantra, or just having in the Western tradition, often it's said that if we do what's called the loving kindness meditation, so projecting that to ourselves, to the people around us, and then to the world, eventually brings a state of peace inside, and that produces an effect in the whole society. But in general, I think it can be summarized in what Patanjali said, being able to be here and now, being able to focus the mind in what's happening to you right now would be like the main technique, I would say. And from there you can derive many different techniques.
Thank you very much, Waldimaji, for mentioning different techniques, starting from yoga chitta nirodha to mantra, focus on breath, and all. So it takes us to the point where Elisa ji left us, that connecting with ourselves is what meditation is. So, Elisa ji, how do you think that meditation can contribute in holistic well-being? If I connect with myself, how will it contribute in holistic well-being?
Hola, ¿me escuchas? Aló.
Yes. You are audible. My question is how that can contribute in holistic well-being. How meditation can contribute in holistic well-being, overall well-being.
Okay. In several ways. First, reduce stress. The people develop a greater awareness and understanding of their thoughts and emotions, which facilitates emotional regulation. By improving concentration and mental clarity, it allows you to make more informed and effective decisions in crisis situations. All this impacts different systems of our body. The cortisol level, the so-called stress hormone decrease, free radical decrease, which allows people to better manage emotional and physical pressure. Meditation has been associated with physical benefits such as reducing blood pressure and improving the immune system, which contributes to general well-being. A study by the University of California 2005 revealed that the practice of meditation generated a 30% reduction in the participants' stress levels and 25% increase in general well-being. The McCarthy and Atkinson experiment in 1999 found that during a collective meditation, even in Washington, D.C., a significant decrease in the crime rate in the city was observed, suggesting an impact on collective consciences. In mental health, meditation reduces anxiety and depression, promoting a more positive and resilient attitude to difficulties various. It helps people find a sense of calm and stability even in the midst of uncertainty. In the report, the American Psychological Association in 2020, it was mentioned that collective meditation can lead to improved mental health in vulnerable community, reducing depression symptoms by 40% in some groups. Research in New York in 2011 in a group meditation program, 60% participants reported a reduction in anxiety and 50% said they felt more satisfied with their life. Group meditation, third, helps strengthen social ties and community support.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you. Thank you very much, Alisa ji. So many scientific evidences you produced so that our audience will have full faith from science and philosophical and traditional dimensions. Now, in the last 30 seconds, each of you will get. You just would like to tell one mantra, one thing that you use for your own meditation. So 30 seconds, maybe we should begin with Kilohana ji. Kilohana ji, you have 30 seconds which you want our audience to go back with. Any particular mantra, line which inspires you to meditate or you used to meditate. 30 seconds to you.
The simple word aloha. Aloha encompasses so many things. It's an entire philosophy in one word. It's our connection to all, to each other. It's kindness, it's humility, it's the sense of wanting to give. It flows.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Kilohana ji. Arjuna ji, one mantra, something which you use or you think you would like to give to the audience in 30 seconds.
If I could recommend just one single mantra, one single phrase to everyone, I would recommend everyone to have a small practice every day to sit straight with the back straight. Just observe the breath, and when the breath comes in, just repeat mentally the mantra Om. And then when they exhale, they can repeat the mantra Shanti with this peace, Inhale Om and exhale Shanti. You can do this just for 2 or 3 minutes and you will feel so calm, so relaxed, and so connected. So, just one thing to remember, just always try to keep it simple.
Yes, thank you very much. That's why I just wanted it in 30 seconds so that simple things will pop up. So nice. Thank you very much, Arjuna ji. Now, your 30 seconds, Waldemar ji. Exactly 30 seconds. Any particular mantra you would like to suggest us?
Well, I use several sayings. One of them is that, I use a lot, the Om Namah Shivaya.
Perfect.
Soham, Shivoham, and also Om Bhur Bhuvas Vaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Vargo Devasya Dimahit Dijo Yona Prachodayat.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Waldemar ji. Alisa ji, 30 seconds with you. Any particular thing you would like to suggest, any line or which people can meditate on or you do it?
The breaking is key. For me, so by encouraging meditation and other wellness practice, the collective resilience is strengthened and mental health of the general population is improved. Again, we need practice meditation. We make practice for resolve the problems in communities.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And dear audience who are watching us from different parts of the world, here we had a wonderful discussion where Arjunaji said that dhyana is the natural state of being. Dhyana takes us to Turiya state, which is beyond 3 states of being. He mentioned then how dhyana transferred from India and it went to various places. In Pali, we got jhana, in China, chana, and you found. He discussed about in Taoism, it also means the place where mountain and river gets together. It means going to your sacred place. Few techniques and practices he suggested. One is silence. Be in silence. And in silence, God listens to you. You listen to the God in silence. And in prayer, God listens to you. Do fasting, he mentioned. And if you get a guru, nothing like that, but at least silence and fasting is a perfect thing to start with. He also said, sit straight. Take a deep breath. While taking breath, say Om. And while exhaling, say Shanti. And he said, keep it simple, because simple things in life are most beautiful. Cleo Hanaji mentioned from Hawaii, she said, Hula is the spiritual path of connecting with nature. Haha is a movement of the nature in being in the state of flow. She also mentioned that focus on the breath, how in Hawaiian culture, kids are taught to focus on the breath through a game. So you also do it with your kids when there is a sunset. Teach kids to take sun to the bed, take a deep breath, continue doing it. And she said Hula is complete alignment, and it also helps in reducing Alzheimer. And she said that in one line, she said, everything what you meditate on is aloha. It is connection with all. Waldemarji said it increases resilience, being capable to respond to the situation, being connecting to your higher self, leaving the lower self, training the mind of what is real and what is not. And stabilizing mind is what meditation is. Chittasya vritti nirodha. For that self-observation, body scanning, breath focus, following a mantra, be here and now. And few mantras he suggested is Soham and Om Namah Shivaya. Alisa ji, being a medical doctor, provided us very scientific aspects of the discussion, but she started very philosophically mentioning that meditation is connecting with the person who knows us best, that is self, and it helps you to understand reality and get to your purpose of life. She scientifically produced that meditation reduces stress, helps in the decision making, help in blood pressure, immune system it increases, crime rate decreases, anxiety decreases, depression decreases, resilience increases, calmness increases. And when you do it in group, anxiety goes low and satisfaction of life goes high. And what she said is one thing which is must start practicing. So let's start practicing today for a better world tomorrow. Thank you very much. Namaste.
It's my pleasure to welcome Dr. Vibhuti Jha, who is Executive Director in Nalanda International, USA. In 1991, he worked in leadership role with the American Express Bank to build and develop Indo-US business relationships. He obtained his undergraduate degree with majors in economics and minors in politics and psychology from Fergusson College, Pune, and his master's is in economics. He got his inclination towards understanding of Indian culture, its rich tradition, values, and Vedic heritage. He participated in the PBS Live program on Asian Indians in America, speaking on Indian culture, traditions, and values. He is a committed practitioner of transcendental meditation for the past 30 years. So please welcome Dr. Vibhuti Jha.
Most welcome, Jasab, and it is always a pleasure and honor to invite you to speak on the topic spiritual governance, ethical leadership, and moral responsibility. All stage is yours.
The stage is mine. All right. Thank you very much, Vikrantji. And it is a special pride for me to be associated with the movement that is United Consciousness right from the inception. And I'm delighted to see the way this movement has carried forward globally. And I'm very enthused by the response of various practitioners and people who are interested in knowing about the spiritual path. So my topic is already known to you, and I'm going to talk about it in these 10 minutes about spirituality, ethics, and morality in our life. Now, remember one thing. Life is all about you and I as individuals, and we live in societies and communities. But the responsibility begins with us alone. And one thing I wanted to definitely clarify, that spirituality is not something esoteric, unimaginable, unreal, or not livable, or meant only for monks and spiritual leaders who live in mountains or practice bliss in its own way. It is a practice of life. Spirituality is a practice of life. And where does it come from? It cuts across all boundaries of restrictions, mandates, and encourages us to treat ourselves with respect and dignity and acceptance of every single individual in nature, in world, in the universe, and life around us. That's the important element of spirituality. If God created this universe, then he created us as well. And he created life-sustaining forces. So where do we go from here? Many a times people confuse, and I see this very often. Oh, if you are spiritual, that means you are not religious. And it is important distinction to make. You can be spiritual without being in religion. And we can be very spiritual despite being very deep in religion. And that it is all about behavior, conduct, and life, the way you treat it. So today, in this short time, I would focus on the possibilities that you and I can live, how to be spiritual, ethical, and moral in our behavior and conduct. And I want to introduce another word here, dharma and adharma. This is very important. Dharmic behavior and adharmic behavior also run concurrently in our life. You see, intellectually, instinctively, and intuitively, we all know when we are doing the right thing and when we are not doing the right thing. I won't say wrong thing, but not doing the right thing. Whether it is in thought, deed, and action. And how do we make sure that we are able to conduct our behavior in a manner that is a standard for me? Because everything begins from me and ends with me. So think about it from this point of view. What exactly do you control in your life? Nothing really, except for your own self. your own behavior, your own conduct towards life coming towards you. When the life is coming to you, then you realize that your response to life, to events, determines the next course of action. Spirituality doesn't mean that you are sitting in absolute bliss and samadhi to attain nirvana. It is about behavior, conduct, and ethics in daily life. And this is something which is important. You know, in the previous session, Vikranji summed up by saying the simple things in life are beautiful. He was talking about aloha, the Hawaiian experience. I've been to Hawaii and I know it is beautiful. Point of the matter here is that when we intellectually, instinctively, and intuitively know what we are doing the right or not the right thing, that's the time when we have to begin to understand life the way it is coming to us. That's what is important. Practice of life. How do we do it? And for that, you have to remember there are certain virtues and values that determine our course of action. So there are certain standards of values which are key to our success in life. Maintaining my own integrity is in my control. Maintaining a truthful behavior is in my control. Maintaining a trusting relationships is in my control. Being honest with things around me is in my control. Being accountable for all my actions makes me responsible. And when you begin to believe in these values, you attain a state of mind where nobody can shake you. Spirituality makes you stronger in mind. And there are tools that make you stronger. All these values that I talked about just now, these are attainable. These are doable. And you attain those things by doing certain practices. And those practices relate to meditation, yoga, and pranayama. Meditation, yoga, and pranayama are the tools that will make you mentally very strong and spiritually very powerful. So, what we see in the world today, I'm not talking about the politics, the war which is going on in Bangladesh and Ukraine and Russia. The whole world seems to be at war. People are threatening that there is a possibility of a third world war. We are not talking about that. I'm talking about what is important for us. It is individuals who stand up. This is where the leadership is born. And global leadership is trying to contain the conflict in its own way. You cannot contain the conflict if you are not spiritually aware about the existence and acceptance of other people. This is critical. So, what my suggestion to you is, in this limited time that I'm talking about is spirituality, ethics, and morality. Ethics and morality are not political punchline words. They mean a lot. Everybody wants everybody else to be ethical and moral other than myself. It is very convenient for people to blame others for their problems. That's why you take responsibility. And I want to suggest to you that if you begin to practice the values of integrity, maintaining your own integrity, truthful behavior, trusted conduct, honesty in your own dealings, accountability for your own actions, responsibility for your own behavior, and you begin to believe in these values, you attain a spiritual strength of mind through meditation, yoga, and pranayama. Breathing is critical, and that's what is important. These things make you stronger in life. And that's what is critical for all of us as we move forward. With these words, I wanted to say, if you begin to practice these, life becomes easier. It becomes simpler. Many years ago, I realized that honesty is not the best policy. It is the only policy to be followed. You know the reason why? Because once you are honest, maintain your high level of integrity, you sleep well. Ever thought about that? You don't lie to anybody. You don't have to don't have to protect and defend any lies. Ethics is, morality is all about maintaining a dignified behavior, dignified respect for all life forms. So with these words, I want to say, let's all become spiritual in our pursuit of common happiness, universal concerns, and unite in our consciousness to realize that we are all the same. Our ancient scriptures say, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Yes, it is about the family, but it's more than family. In my interpretation of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, in this God given world, we have the same sun, same earth, same water, H2O, same CO2, same O2 that sustains our life. Think about it from that perspective. That's the world we live in. The sun doesn't have any stamp of ownership by anyone. The moon, the planets, water, air doesn't have ownership of anyone on that. With these words, I say thank you and best wishes for a very united life.
Thank you very much, Jha. It's always treat to the soul listening to you. You mentioned about how spirituality, ethics, and morality are connected. You invoked the discussion of dharma and adharma. You also invoked the discussion of being spiritual or being religious. And you rightly said that intuitively, intellectually, and instinctively, we all know when we are right and we are not. And you said spirituality has to be brought into behavior and conduct, and these values are to be lived in. And for that, tools you suggested is meditation, yoga, and pranayama. I very much loved the way you mentioned that honesty is not the best policy, it is the only policy. It is so profound. And you concluded yourself with invoking the feeling of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Only this is the way where we can all remain in peace like family. Thank you very much, Jasaf, for being a part of this grand family.
Thank you. My honor.
I thank Dr. Vibhuti Jha for such a valuable explanation.
Avneet Baid, a healthcare IT leader, is an acknowledged yoga trainer. She is one of the founder and director of non-profit organization Project Self. She is a certified yoga instructor from the Ujjain Yoga Life Society, having completed a comprehensive ROIT 500 yoga teachers training under Pandit Radhesham Mishra's guidance. Deeply touched by the profoundness, depth and validity of the yogic traditions, Avneet is committed to bringing these teachings into the lives of as many people as possible. With this goal in mind, she conducts various programs focused on delivering the benefits of classical yoga. Welcome, Avneet ji.
Namaste, everyone.
Namaste, namaste, Avneet ji. Most welcome. It is so heartwarming to see you. And stage is all yours. Ears are all yours. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Vikrant. Welcome, everyone, to the International Day of Peace. What a beautiful cause to celebrate this day. And especially, we are living in the world of divide. At this time, it is very important that we find this peace. We have so many of our differences. However, we have been given out by our spiritual leaders some of the practices in our scriptures, and it has been incorporated into meditation and pranayama. As you have heard from Dr. Jha and many other leaders who have been talking, that practical implementation is important. And what we are talking about is peace. What is peace? Peace comes from within. When our mind is peaceful, we feel that peace. Today we are going to practice love and compassion meditation. And we really want to bring this peace from within by incorporating this meditation practice. So my attempt today will be to just give you a few tips that you can incorporate in your daily practices. And we can try together to bring this peace everywhere. And love and compassion is one of the best way to connect with our world around and spread that love, and not only to others but to yourself too. So with that, let's go ahead and start our session. Let's go ahead, sit straight, back straight, shoulders relaxed. We'll slowly close our eyes. Any meditation practice begins with mindfulness. This is the first step. We should always be in the present moment. So when you close your eyes, just bring yourself into the present moment. Let's take a moment to have some deep breathing. So let's take long inhalation. Inhale and exhale deeply. Let's take another deep breath in. Inhale and exhale. Today we are practicing love and compassion meditation. Let's prepare our body and mind with mindfulness. We'll start by relaxing our body. We'll start from our feet and we'll move upward towards our forehead. We will practice this relaxation with full mindfulness. Be in the present moment. Let's go ahead and relax our feet. Let go of any tension. Let's bring our attention to our calf muscles. Observe for any tension. Let's release this tension. Let it go. Gently bring your attention to your knees. If you feel any pain or any stress or tension around those muscles, let's go ahead and release that tension. Bring your attention now to your thighs. Observe mindfully if there is any stress you're holding in your thighs. Let go of that tension. Let's bring our attention now to our hip joint and lower back. Let's observe if there is any tension in your muscles around your hips. Let's take a deep breath in. Inhale. And as you exhale, go ahead and relax those muscles. Bringing your attention now to your lower back, moving upwards towards your spine. Relaxing your shoulder. Observing for any tension in those muscles behind your upper back. Release that tension. Let it go. Your hands completely relaxed in your lap, or you can also place those hands on your knees. Observe any stress or tension on your right arm, fingers. Release that tension. Observe for any tension in your left arm, fingers. Let's observe that tension mindfully and release it. Let's bring that calmness within. Go ahead and gently shift your attention to your neck, back of your neck, and release that tension in your neck. Bring your attention towards your jaw. Whatever you're holding in this area, just release it. Gently bring your attention to your cheek muscles. Soften them. Bring a little smile to your face. Observe that happiness and calmness within. Bring your attention to your eyes. Soften the muscles of your eyes and release that tension you're holding. Gently shifting your attention behind your ears and releasing all the tension from the back of your ears, back of your head, and finally bringing it to your forehead. Focus between the eyebrows, the mind's eye. Feel that peaceful mind, relaxed mind. The peace starts from ourselves. We have to bring that peace from within. Now gently take your right hand, place it your chest center, heart center. And at this time, we will practice some love and compassion. Let's think of something that is really troubling us. Maybe there is a pain you're holding in your chest. Maybe there is a hurt. This is the time to show that compassion. Towards yourself. Show that love to yourself. Just say to yourself, I love myself and I extend this compassion that these feelings that I have are natural. As a human, I'm experiencing them in this moment. I'm showing compassion to myself. Feel that heartbeat slowing down, feeling that calmness. Just feel the rhythm of your heartbeat going up, down, Let's take a deep breath in, inhale, and exhale. Let's bring our hands back to your knees. And now we will extend this love and compassion to just those few people in your life who you care for. Let's say, may be peace with you. I'm extending my love towards you. Wherever you're hurting right now, just let it go. I'm sending my compassion to you. Let's sit with this feeling, extending this energy to the people that we care for. Sending my love, sending my compassion to you. Just name them in your head. Keep that smile on your face. Feel the happiness within as you send your love and compassion to your loved one. Let's gently go ahead and extend this love and compassion to just people you're acquainted with. Maybe they are just your friends. You meet them a few times. Just think about those people. Bring them to your attention with mindfulness and extend your love and compassion to all these people. May peace be with them. May our love is extended to them. We feel so compassionate for them. We feel their hurt. And we are compassionate. We're empathetic. Sending this love and affection with full heartedness, full mindfulness. Send your energy of love and compassion to these people. Extend it. Mindfully bring these people in say their names if you know them. If you don't know them, it's okay. Maybe you know their face. One at a time, bring them into your visualization. Now let's extend the same love and compassion to our neighbors, people we may not even know. They live in our neighborhood. Extending this love and compassion to each one of them. May peace be with them. May our love be with them. May our compassion be with them. Everybody is struggling with something. Let's not judge. Let's show that compassion and love towards each individual in our neighborhood, Let's take a deep breath in, sending this energy out. And exhale it out. Remembering that peace is all coming through your mind. Love is coming from your heart. Let's extend this love and compassion now to people in the world, in our country, outside our country, people who are hurting in the world. Let's extend this compassion to them. They're physically hurting, they're mentally hurting. May be peace with them. May our love be with them. Sending away our energies to heal them. And finally, let's go ahead and extend our love and compassion towards the entire universe, including animals, plants, nature, surroundings. Let's show all the gratitude also. Extend this love to the entire universe, where all the human existence is there. Our animals, they might be hurting. Let's bring peace and love and compassion to them too. Nature, we're destroying them. Let's bring that compassion, that we may be mindful of saving this nature. The air we breathe is coming from this nature, these trees, plants. They're nourishing us, they're nourishing our body. We show this compassion and love to the entire universe. Let's take a few deep breaths in. Inhale. Exhale. Let's take a few moments to observe, go into within ourselves. Feel the same love and compassion again within ourselves. Let's chant 3 times the word in Hindi or Sanskrit. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, and peace. Slowly bring your awareness to your nostril. Observe your breath. Let's take a moment to thank this moment of present And this breathing, this breath that is giving us life, the prana. Gently bring some movement in your fingertips. Let's go ahead and rub our palm. Place it on your eyes. And gently open your eyes. Just want to say namaste and thank you so much to United Consciousness for giving us this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Miki, for this soulful meditation. I'm sure that the collective meditation and the vibration of love and compassion will reach to the world around. And this is what is the need of the hour. Thank you for choosing this meditation theme.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Avneet-ji, for sharing your views and thoughts.
It is my privilege to introduce and welcome Professor Raul Guimarães from Brazil. He is the professor in the Department of Geography at the State University of Sao Paulo. He researches the relationship between geography and health, thematic cartography, and public policies. He is the current Vice Rector of University Extension and Culture at UNESP. So please put your hands together to welcome Professor Raul Guimarães.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, Professor Raul, most welcome. So happy to receive you on this global platform of United Consciousness. Would like to let you know people from around guest experts from around 100 countries will be joining us from between 14th of September to 22nd of September. We all together are celebrating United Nations International Day of Peace, and the whole event is called United Consciousness International Week of Peace. And so happy to listen from you about building peace through holistic well-being. All stage is yours. Most welcome.
Thanks a lot, Professor Tomar. So, on behalf of São Paulo State University, I would like to thank you for the invitation to participate in the United Consciousness International Day of Peace. I especially thank Professor Tomar and Professor Elisa Carolina Torrenegra. Professor Elisa was very patient with me. Despite my delay in responding, now our university will participate with all its energy. Sorry, my bad English, but I will try to speak in English, okay? São Paulo State University is a Brazilian multi-campus university. It has colleges and research institutes distributed across 25 cities in the state of São Paulo. Today, we have around 20,000 students engaged in practical activities and social engagement within local community. They are learning to listen, to understand and social issues from the needs of the population. What's happening now in Brazil? Brazil is facing the worst drought recorded in 44 years, affecting 16 states in the federal district, with relief expected only in November. The severity of the drought is linked to various factors, including the intense dryness caused by the El Niño phenomenon, atmospheric blocks prevent cold fronts from arriving, and changing rainfall patterns due to the abnormal warming of the northern tropical Atlantic Ocean. This prolonged drought severely impacts water supply, energy production and distribution, and exacerbates wildfires. More than 75% of the fires in South America are currently concentrated in Brazil. The savanna biome is particularly affected, surpassing the Amazon in the number of fire hotspots, posing a critical risks to biodiversity and causing environmental issues that jeopardize public health, exacerbating respiratory diseases. Furthermore, the deregulation of the hydrological cycle leads to drought and floods in different regions, resulting in significant economic consequences for agriculture and the economy as a whole. I often think about the traditional communities live in the savannah, now surrounded by fire. The prolonged drought has affected the level of the rivers and harmed fishing. But I believe that the solution to confront such as environmental crisis already exists within the territories. The territory speaks, say the leaders of indigenous communities like the Guarani and Kaiowá. I wish a long life for traditional Brazilian communities. Long life the Calungas, Geraizeiros, Jalapoeiros, Raizeiras, Quebradeiras de Coco, Vazanteiras, and artisanal fishermen. They know that the tree called Jatobá regenerates naturally amidst pastures and is fire resistant. That the Jatobá is pollinated by bats and the other mammals, and birds feeds on its fruits. For many indigenous tribes, it is a sacred tree, revered for its healing power and for providing food and valuable wood. It's one of the must-use plants for treating respiratory issues, for example. From the life that springs from its colossal trunk, bees dance around the nectar. Deep roots, secrets of the earth. In each flower, a breath of life, the delicacy that nature inspires. Indeed, Brazil is on fire. Brasil o Oexamate. Brazil is burning in the Guarani language. In Guarani culture, the act of singing is a way to strengthen and revitalize our beliefs and thus bring back joy. Take a look at the lyrics of the Guarani song. Yandebarate Icatu, Pauei Jupi Ueguaí, Yamonhendu Icatu, Emboraí Javan, Javan. Again. Yandebarate Icatu, Pauei Jupi Ueguaí, Yamonhendu Icatu, Emburaí Javan, Javan. The song lyrics can be translated into English as follows. Let's strengthen ourselves, yes, all together. Let's sing our songs, yes, and be happy. Again, let's strengthen ourselves, yes, all together. Let's sing our songs, yes, and be happy. So, let's learn from traditional communities to be happy. So, I would like to say, the future is ancestral. The future is ancestral. Thank you.
Oh my God, Professor Raul, it was such heart-touching talk that you gave. And when you were talking about Brazil is burning, I'm sure people from all parts of the world must be seriously concerned, because Brazil is a treasure to the nature, treasure of the nature of the world. And as you mentioned, in South America, 75% of the fire of South America is happening in Brazil and Savannah area. It really is a matter of global concern. And no peace can happen on the planet without nature. You rightly said that it has disturbed the hydrological impact cycle also, which will have certainly economical consequences, which is already happening. You mentioned it again and again that Brazil is burning. And when we were really concerned, you gave a light of hope also. You mentioned that the traditional communities in Savannah, they have a tree called Jatova tree, if I got it right. And they consider that the tree has the healing power, provide valuable food. You sang a song of hope for all of us. And you said that let's strengthen ourselves. Yes, all together, let's strengthen ourselves. Let's sing our songs. And yes, let's be happy together. It's so profound. You presented two mixture of opposites. On one place you mentioned about the fire. At another place you mentioned about the peace and joy also can remain unaffected by the situations around. We should certainly work to solve the situations, but meanwhile, let's strengthen ourselves. Yes, let's all together, let's sing our songs. Yes, and let's be happy together. This line really touched my heart. And the bottom line you mentioned, future is ancestral. I had never heard this line ever in my life, and I will never forget this line ever in my life. Future is ancestral, and certainly there is a lot to learn from our ancestors who walked on the planet before us. So happy to have you in United Consciousness family, Professor Rahul. We are celebrating physical event in Ujjain, in India, central part of India, in 2025, February 14th, 15th, and 16th. So here on this global platform, I
will be there. I will be there.
I extend my sincere invitation, which you already accepted. And on the platform, we'll be very happy to host you in Ujjain, be a part of it. And on 14th of February happens to be Valentine's Day. So let's tell each other, let's love each other, let's be happy together. Very happy to host you, Professor Rahul. Looking forward to
Thanks a lot, Professor Tomar, that you invite me, and I hope you can work together.
Indeed, we shall. Indeed. Thank you very much for such an encouraging and speech which brought hope to all of us. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
On behalf of the United Consciousness, I thank Professor Rahul for coming onto this platform of United Consciousness. Thank you so much.
सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः.
To welcome and introduce Ms. Daniela Lodani. She is a Hatha Yoga teacher with extensive experience in various locations including Rome, Bratislava, Budapest, and Prague. She studied Zen meditation with Sri Lankan community and studied Ashtanga Yoga and Yoga therapy in India. She has also studied with famous teachers such as Philippa Ashley, Jadranko Miklet, Janet Stone, Amy Laundrie, Antonio Nuzzo, Willie Van Lisbeth, and Andre Riel. She also studied yoga adjustments with Mark Stevens in Prague and other famous teachers. She has also studied yoga and Ayurveda links in Kerala, Rishikesh, Amritsar, South Africa, Sydney, and Cagliari. She completed a postgraduate master's of second level in mindfulness, neuroscience, and meditation at the University La Sapienza in Rome in 2020. She has held workshops on yoga for back pain, assisted asanas, couples, and vata management. She has also translated books and translated articles on yoga technique for local use in Italy and India. So please put your hands together to welcome Ms. Daniela Laudani.
I welcome you to the International United Consciousness Conclave organized for the Day of Peace 2024 by the Global United Consciousness. My name is Daniela Laudani and I live in Sardinia, an island in the Mediterranean Sea. Let's put our hands together and let's start a very slow yoga practice. During this practice, I will invite you to come back to the essential. Find the sacred geometry inside us, the sacred form. Let's start with the line that is our back, vertebra by vertebra, straight. A link between the hair and the sky. Let's breath. And when all together are ready, let's chant a very kind and gentle Om. And once we are ready, let's slowly open the eyes. Let your arms free and let's come to a seated triangle pose. We are a triangle with all the meaning of the sacred triangle, Surya, the sun. And breathing, let's extend this sacred form. Inhale, put your arms towards the sky and reach a very high point of our triangle. And exhaling, turn your hands and come back, very gentle. If for you it's difficult to sit with crossed leg, let's do it on a chair or during a break in your office. Just breath. Inhale completely when you are up and exhale slowly towards the ground. Concentrating yourself on the shape of this triangle. Inhale, close your eyes. Exhale, come back to the triangle and hold the breath with empty lungs. Inhale. When you are in a full inhalation, hold the breath with full lungs. And when you are exhaling, go down and hold Kumbhaka. Once more. Now again, using the triangle, let's turn it. So our right hand will be behind our back and the left hand will be on our right knee. And exhaling, let's turn all the back towards the right side of our body. The breathing here is somehow kind of extension towards the sky of our back. close your eyes and visualize the triangle. Come slowly to the center. Come back with your hands on your knees. And again, go to the other side. Left hand behind your back and right hand on your lap. Turn towards your left side. No tension. Very slowly come back. Help your knees and extend your legs. Again, let's find the triangle shape. Extend your arms up and figure out the triangle. Just imagine how can you create another triangle in your body. Of course, we can today we're working with the triangles, but we can work with circles or other shapes that we find in nature. Yoga is the inner connection with the nature. Just look at the shape you see around you and try to do it. Try to put yourself, your body, your mind, and your heart in this shape. Exhale, and with your hands, try to extend your back. Do not force, do not extend too much. Your face must be towards, looking forwards in order to extend your back. Yoga is not the effort of the body to reach the pose. And very slowly touching your legs, come up, touch your body, be happy with your body, be kind with your body, and put your knee together and your hands under your shoulders. Let your back move slowly. Look to the sky and look towards your belly. Inhale very slowly. Be present in every breath that you are creating. And once you are ready, come back to the neutral position. And your right leg, your right side will be extended. With your arms, your hands on your right leg. And hold this position until it is comfortable, and then extend again. Let's try to figure out a triangle pose. Again, another shape of your body. When you are in a position, try to visualize with your closed eyes the position your body is trying to achieve. Then come back, bring your right leg behind you, come down, stay in pose. That can be Bhujangasana, very slowly soft Bhujangasana, or just another Bhujangasana, very simple and gentle pose for your back. Do not force the position. Yoga is not to have a discussion with your body. It's just a way to huggle your body. Then come back, sit on your heels, extend your leg. down, and be ready for the second side of your body. So come back to the neutral position, left, left, in front of yourself, and your hands here. This is just a transition, a preparation for the next one. And very slowly extend your left leg and come down, breath, feel your body. Not to feel stress when you practice yoga. Never think that you have to show what you are able to do. You can do what your body can do in this moment, today, here and now. Then come back. Again, in the same position. Come down, relax your back. Move the lower part of your back. Extend yourself. Breath. Possible in a natural place, because nature is the best shala that we can use in our life. Very slowly, come and lie on your back. Hug your knees. Stay here. And then put the left hand on the left knee and the right hand on the right knee. And inhaling, extend the space that you have, and exhaling, hug as much as you can your face towards the chest. Extend the back of your neck. Another time. Then open your arms and very slowly put your legs towards the left side and the right. The head towards your right hand. Stay here. Breath. And then, if it's comfortable for you, extend your right leg towards the left hand and stay here, and again find a triangle inside your body. Find the shape, stay in the shape. No stress. In the triangle, everything is balanced. Come back, hug your knees again. Then go to the other side, so open again your arms, your legs toward the right side, and you will have a look towards your hand, towards your left hand. Stay here, breath. Find the shape if you want, extending your left leg. Breath. No worry, no hurry. Stay here. Come back to the center. Hug your knees. And then you can let your body flow on the ground. And stay here. Breath. If you are in the nature, look at the sky. If you are in a room, look at the sky inside you. No stress in your life. And if you feel that life is pushing on you asking you for more and more. Just think and find the triangle. And with this triangle sent you, stay stable. Namaste.
On behalf of the United Consciousness, I thank Ms. Daniela Lodani for coming onto the platform of United Consciousness. Thank you so much.
सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्।
This shloka means, may everyone be happy, may everyone be free from all diseases, may everyone see goodness and auspiciousness in everything, may none be unhappy or distressed. Om Shantihi, Shantihi, Shantihi. I am highly privileged to have this opportunity to present my gratitude to all those who have witnessed and blessed this event directly or indirectly. I believe that this is not the end, but the beginning of our journeys. The journeys towards the noble cause of removing the 14 divides rooted in human race and promoting harmonious and peaceful coexistence. Firstly, I thank the God for blessing us all. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Mr. Rajesh Rabindranath of Project Self USA, Yogi Baba Adnan and Madam Kubuk of Siddha Ashram Yoga Center, Mr. Andre Reel of Nidra Yoga, Swami Suryananda Saraswati of European Yoga Federation, Mr. Sukhdev Volker Brits of Yoga Vidya, Mr. Valdemar Parado of Yoga Yogishmo, Ms. Patricia Wegle of AAYT, Ms. Emmy Blessio of CUIDY, Ms. Valentina Cortene of African Spiritual Council, Mr. Andre Lebanau of Yoga Lam, Mr. Josh Pryor of Yoga Australia, and Mr. Jose Druge of the for your invaluable contribution and support. I am also very thankful to Dr. Vikrant Singh Tomar of United Consciousness for hosting such a beautiful program. I also thank Team United Consciousness for their valuable contributions to such a beautiful program.